To now have some credibility. Let me bring you that credibility. Thank you very much. Good morning, Nigerians. Let's now bring you trending down stories all over the world. But we'll begin right here from home. In a thought-provoking statement that is stirring conversations across Nigeria, former Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has called out a growing trend within the country's religious space. He says the church, which is once a moral compass, now plays a troubling role in the nation's moral and economic decline. While speaking at an event, the former vice president said many churches in Nigeria have shifted their focus from encouraging hard working and innovation to promoting a message of miraculous wealth. A message he believes is misleading and dangerous. Let's see what the former vice president had to say.
Messages on miraculous wealth, messages on miracle money alerts, anointing for wealth, and various versions of the doctrine that donations or sowing seeds will automatically return as wealth. Now, these types of messages do not build economies or institutions.
Osinbajo's remarks have enacted a national conversation about the role of religion in shaping values, since faith-based institutions form a significant part of socialization process in Nigeria. But you had something to say on social media. Let's bring that to you. Adeboye Efun says, talk is cheap. He was there from the spiritual point of view. I did not feel the impact of what he is preaching now. He was silent when he needed to be heard. And when we complained, we were told he wanted to stoop to conquer. I don't know what you're talking about, bro, but, you know, that's your view. Serene says, or Terence, Osinbajo spitting facts. Our churches collect tithes, but don't question sources. We've normalized corruption even in God's house. Enugu's first son says, you are blinded to think why we serve. God is because of food we will eat. I don't know what Ria, Etoma, and Ibrahim would be saying this morning, but what do you think about this, please?
Wow, well, yes, he is correct. To a very large extent, he is very correct in what he's saying. There's so much prosperity preaching and giving the people the impression that if you worship God this particular way, then you will be prosperous and all that, not laying emphasis to hard work, which the Bible itself emphasizes that a lazy man shouldn't even eat, you know, and that God himself will bless the works of our hands. That connotes that we have to do something to access God's blessings. Now, those narratives are not very popular in church now. It's just if you give this, you will get this. God is not transactional.
Definitely, God is never transactional. And I tell you something, a lot of people, they are not called by God. Some of these pastors, they are called by their fathers, not God. Because if you're called by God, there's some principles that you're supposed to know. Like Thomas said, I will bless the works of your hands, what you're doing. If you're not doing anything, you cannot get up and say God will bless you. It's not possible. You cannot stay in your house just praying, and you think that God will help you. No, you need to put in the work. You know, and I feel like in churches, this is what we need to preach. We need to tell people that you need to do the right thing. You need to work for you to get God's blessings. And Nelson, I tell you, when I go to church right now and all you are telling me is about if you pay tithe, God will bless you, or just sleep and wake up, a miracle will come, I would not go to that church again, because you cannot sleep and wake up for a miracle. Even though your faith is as little as a mustard seed, you have to put in the work. That's why we're here every morning putting in the work.
Don't let us forget, especially the first tweet, don't let us forget that Osinbajo, you know, former vice president of Nigeria, is also a very sound pastor of the Redeemed Church. So he knows what he's saying, and he's saying what exactly is happening, because we have a whole lot of people who are mounting the pulpit now, and the only thing they want to preach is prosperity. They do not want to preach about good, evil, anything. It's all about, has to do with money. And because I love to read religious books a lot, especially the Bible as well, and the Quran. You know, there is a verse of the Bible in 1 Timothy chapter 6, 5 to 10, when Paul teaches that not all financial gains, we should not put everything on financial gains. And then he went on to say that money is the root of all kinds of evil. So we should not always put money
the
first.
Love of money.
The love of money, exactly. The love of money, rather. So thank you for that emphasis. The love of money is the root of every kind of evil. So we should always think, exactly why am I created? Is it because of money? You know, it's to serve God and to be kind to people. If you read the 10 Commandments, it is so clear. so clean. So why are we taking everything out of context?
Well,
we need to wake up.
And Nelson, I tell you something, when you serve God religiously, that's when that blessing will come to you. When you serve God and you work diligently, there's no way you will not be blessed.
Well said this morning, Tim. We need to move to our next story, which is also bringing another spark that we would be seeing this morning. This is now on something else. It's not just about public figures speaking out. Many young Nigerians are beginning to reassess their relationship with the church, including well-known voices online. Social media personality Usher Umaye, better known as Rhea, recently this would have been you know, recently went viral after opening up about why she no longer attends church services and instead opted for self-development. In a video that's gained views, Raya clarified her decision wasn't due to any spiritual crisis, but rather an economic reawakening. Let's hear what she had to say.
I stopped going to church because I realized that my problem was not a spiritual problem, but it was about an economical problem. It was more of the country I grew up in. You're not cursed. Nothing is wrong with you. Your family doesn't have any cause. Your village people have not had any effect on you. The only thing that is making you slow as an average youth is because you are literally growing up in an economy that makes things 5 times harder for an average person to succeed. I used to do a lot of night vigil until I woke up.
Conversations like this continue to trend. Questions arises on if churches are adapting to realities of modern life or losing touch with the practical needs of what follow us. Let's take some tweets on this matter right here. Champagne glass. Okay, says, as a young Nigerian youth living in Nigeria, your chances of achieving your goals and full potentials will increase by over 80% once you stop going to church to listen to these pulpit hustlers taking advantage of the conditions their political class friends have put you in. I stopped going to church since 2014 and my life has been nothing but bliss, peace, progress and development. Try it and you'll achieve what you never imagined you could. Your opinion, my darling sister. Ambassador Stevens says there are many people with money who are dealing with problems and life's battles bigger than money. Going to church or not has nothing to do with the economy. You do to church because it is good for fellowship. And I'm sure you wanted to say you go to church because it is good for fellowship and worship your God in an ecclesia, not because you're rich or poor. Well, but let's move to our next matter this morning. Still on efforts to drive a more productive economy beyond the rising concern over examination malpractice and the public backlash that has followed, some students are now making headlines for the right reasons. 47 students have been awarded scholarships worth a total 47 million naira, along with brand new laptops under the Renewed Hope Initiative Education Support Scheme. The initiative was led by the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, emphasizing her commitment to supporting education and empowering young Nigerians across diverse fields of study. Each recipient selected from tertiary institutions nationwide received 1 million naira and a laptop, a package designed to support their academic pursuits. While initiatives like this is a reflection or reflects a meaningful investment in Nigeria's future, a critical question remains: what more needs to be done to ensure that education doesn't just reward individuals, but actively drives lasting economic transformation? Good questions, but you said some things on social media. We'd like to let you know. Akira Yoje, heartfelt guidance from Her Excellency Senator Oluremi Tinubu, inspiring scholars to combine education with practical skills for a brighter future. Absolutely well said, my brother. And Ajak Sim says, I sincerely appreciate the First Lady for advocating for side hustles for those scholars whose believe that after book, there is nothing. But Etoma, Ria and Ibrahim, do you think that after book, there is nothing?
My dear, for you to be comfortable in the Nigeria of today, you need a minimum of 4 streams of income. You know, book can be the major stream, but you need 3 others. So after book, there's plenty of things to do. You know, I appreciate the initiative by the First Lady giving the scholarship. 47 students, 47 million naira, 1 million naira, 1 laptop each. You know, my hope is that it is sustained even after they leave office. It should be instituted in such a way that it stands on its own. It's not because she's first lady now, that's why the thing is working. Beyond her being first lady, this initiative should continue. I also like to point out that there are several other organizations and people that are giving scholarships out. And I'm wondering what's wrong with the federal government instituted scholarships to indigent students too. And for I, hey, religion and what you make of it is a personal issue. You know, yes, maybe this is working for you. It doesn't mean it will work for everybody.
All right, and I'll just speak from Rahi as well. Whenever I say Rahi, it's like I'm saying Ria. But yeah, it's in the Bible, where one or two are gathered, my presence is there. So I think that going to church doesn't mean that, you know, you feel that, oh, everything is right in the church. You're going to church to fellowship, you know, and worship God. So just go with your clean heart. Don't even care about what's happening, what the pastor is doing, or what's going on. Because there was a point that me, myself, I said I wasn't going to go to church again. But at the end of the day, I know that God also loves fellowship. So that's my take on that. And for the First Lady, this is a beautiful initiative. I've said it several times, education is key. For every economy to do well, you know, the students need to learn well. Education needs to stand tall. I love the fact that you're doing this. But also, when we speak about, you know, after book, there is a lot. But I tell you, you don't want to be a rich illiterate. So at the end of the day, book is the major one. So after you now finish learning, you put all the education you've learned into your side hustles, and you see that you'll come out really well.
But you don't also want to be a poor literate.
Yeah, makes a whole lot of sense.
No, but the thing is that, Nelson, once you are educated, it's quite difficult for you to now make money, and you are smart, and your village people are not following you.
All right.
Starting from Rai, she's actually not alone. A whole lot of people, if you look at TikTok, if you look at the social media, you know, read research, even AP had a report on people deserting church in Europe, especially post-pandemic. You know, where people say that the church is in my heart and all of that. And then even the religion, Catholicism, you know, lost about 474,000, you know, members in Europe between 2021 and 2024. That's a huge one. Why? Because the Gen Zs are saying that, yeah, they are not, you know, trusting religion. They don't want to even affiliate themselves to any religion. So they want to be agnostics. They want to be atheists. In fact, they call them nones, N-O-N-E-S, that they don't want to have anything to do with God. And then if you look at Africa, some people are saying that they are going back to the Orisha, they are going back to their roots, so they do not want to have anything to do with Western, Arabian kind of religion. So it's actually happening, and it's very, very concerning. So much so that they brought these religions to us. We are now transporting it back to them, you know, preaching to the whites to, you know, accept the faith. Well, that's about it, but the church, your religion, you know, should start from your heart. What are you gaining at the end of the day? Because the essence of this teaching is for you to love yourselves, love your brothers as you love yourselves, and be kind, be honest, be good in everything that you do. That's the bottom line for me. Talk about what the First Lady has done. It is not new to me, because even before they became what they are today, President, First Lady, they've been doing it, they've been touching lives. So if they now have the opportunity to do it, you know, using the Nigerian setting, I think it's just something they are used to doing, which certainly will not stop when they are out of power. But we are happy that you're doing this. We want you to expand it beyond the scope of whatever it is that we have it now. Well done.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Tim, for your wonderful analysis. Right, let's get to